Welcome to part 2 of Iwo Jima on Let's Play Battlefield 1942. Now you really don't want to be in this position where you have to spawn at the landing beach. I'm lucky that I haven't already been shot down by mounted machine gun fire. At the beginning of the round, that's especially a problem because they'll often bring their tanks down there too, and just everybody on the Japanese side will dogpile on the people spawning in. That's one of the main reasons, well, probably the reason why I decided not to go after that flag at the beginning when I had the landing craft and I was looking for a place to attack. And instead I went over to the airfield just to avoid that kill zone situation. And we could end up in that same position if we're not careful here. I saw a Sherman over there. The Japanese control that. I guess they managed to take that when we had control of one of the spawn points, so it was still a Sherman. Whichever side controls the flag, their version of the vehicle is what spawns in. So even though this is a Japanese island, you can have Shermans spawning in. Okay, he threw a grenade in there, got it. This is kind of a tricky flag to attack because the capture radius does not include all of the bunker inside. So you kind of go in and out, and you need 10 consecutive seconds even to turn it neutral. Okay, I got lucky there with a pistol. Unfortunately, that guy's not a medic. I'd like to be able to heal my energy again, but an assault gun is fine for close quarter combat. If you stay in this one part of the bunker, you can turn it neutral, but unfortunately you can't go back outside and clear out the bunker to take the flag. Okay, so it looks like the rest of the team hasn't managed to capture any more flags. So once again, and the longer that we stay here on this beach, the more difficult it's going to become to get out, because they've already started moving their tanks in, and you have no real defense against them unless everyone else on the team starts spawning anti-tank. So I've decided to spawn on the aircraft carrier just to get away from that beach. I have no idea why that guy was shooting at me. Who knows. But as long as I'm a medic, I can heal myself again. Alright, so as you can see, even though we've got one flag, we're still bleeding tickets because the landing beach doesn't count toward that. And the fact that I've had to go back to the ship and then do this landing craft thing again really shows you what kind of shape our team is in at the moment. It's actually easier to assault the airfield toward the beginning of the round. The reason for that is that all the Japanese are spawning over toward the landing beach to defend that, and they're not left behind here at the airfield to defend that. So later on in the round, when more people are spawning in the airfield, there are more people left there to defend it. I mentioned earlier how the airfield has a very large spawn radius. That means that Japanese soldiers can spawn from a massive area around this area, just all along the mountains and in the ridge. So before you turn that flag neutral, you can be attacked from behind very easily. And still, we're at the landing beach. Now, luckily, it looks like their tank that they had over here has been destroyed. Finally, I'm glad that I wasn't over there during that. And since we saw that tank over at the airfield, they're either still there or they're moving over here, which gives us a little bit of breathing. Yeah, there we go. The tanks come back over here. So we're going to have to sneak around. This is especially dangerous even if you're hiding behind rocks, because they've got lots of people who spawn in as snipers and engineers who have those long-range rifles.
We're taking casualties!
Yeah, you always check this bunker when you're going by. I believe the airfield may allow you to spawn even there if you have it, which just shows you the distance. That guy had extremely poor aim there. He had an assault gun, which is not very accurate. Plus, if you just really try to dance around in these corridors, then you can make use of the barriers that the doors provide. But as far as capturing this flag is concerned, you know, it's a good thing that I neutralized it when I was sitting over there inside the bunker earlier, because otherwise it would just be impossible. You almost have to neutralize it in there and then just run around, sweep all over the place looking for people, and then if you get lucky you can capture it on your own. This is not something you can ordinarily do. Luckily now the Allies have managed to retake a really firm foothold. We've got those two middle flags, and the Japanese will either have to take a long walk from the mountain, or they'll have to drive in with their tanks from the airfield, which is probably what they're going to end up doing. There also seems to be a bit of plane camping going on the Axis side. People spawning and just hanging out on the airfield waiting for planes. That's very, very draining on your manpower. I mentioned earlier that we might be able to make up that ticket difference, but at this point it's actually widened, probably because they had use of all those tanks. So stay tuned for part 3 of Iwo Jima.